Hi everyone, Carl here from Aft, and today we're going to take a closer look at one of LG's brand new 2017 sets, the OLED65G7P, and see what makes this such a good TV. So let's start off with the design. The big thing with this one is its picture-on-glass display. Now the way they do it is they apply the OLED module directly to the glass back panel, so there's no extra fillers or anything in the screen, just the module and glass. You can even see it on the back of the set. I think it's a cool design and it helps keep the TV super thin. I will say, you should be cautious when you're moving the TV though, just because of how thin it is. It doesn't feel flimsy or anything, but you definitely don't want to risk cracking the glass. Also, it should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyways, make sure you have a second person there to help you set this TV up. Whether you're putting it on a wall or a stand, it's heavy and it can be a little awkward to move if you're just a single person. Now, getting back to the design, you have a really minimal bezel here, and there's a glass rim that runs around the outside, so there's not much to look at besides the picture. And like I mentioned before, the screen itself is extremely thin. However, if you're going to be putting this on a piece of furniture, you'll have the depth of the speaker/pedestal to factor in. With that in the open position, you're looking at a full depth of about 12.5 inches, and then with it retracted for wall mounting, your total depth is going to drop to 2.7 inches. Overall, it's a great looking design. The only thing I'm not super keen on is that the pedestal spans the entire width of the TV, so if you're putting it on a piece of furniture that isn't as wide as the set, it doesn't look quite right. Overall though, this is a really great looking set. And all those great looks definitely don't stop with the design. The picture on this TV is incredible too. It has active HDR, which will analyze and optimize HDR10 content scene by scene, which will improve the picture quality and make watching HDR content even better. And it also supports Dolby Vision and LG HDR, which means it'll give you access to and improve even more content. Contrast was amazing on this set, the only real limitation being that it can't get super bright like a regular LED, but that's one of the few drawbacks on an OLED. However, it has terrific black levels, as you can imagine, and the colors on this 10-bit panel seem to be way better dialed in than what I saw on the 2016 models. It did a nice job upscaling 720 and 1080p content, and 4K looked great obviously too. My only knock on the picture is that there was a little vertical banding. It's hard to see unless you really focus on it, but I noticed it when we were testing the set, and it seems to be a fairly common effect with OLED TVs. But getting back to the positives, the viewing angle is terrific. You can sit just about anywhere in front of the set and not have any noticeable issues with the picture quality degrading. From head-on to almost all the way to the side, this maintains really good colors and brightness. And as far as reflectivity goes, you can see here as we move one of our studio lights across the image, it does wash out a little bit, but once it's hitting it at an angle, there's really no noticeable effect. And most people aren't going to have 650 watt lights in their living rooms either. The only other thing that, or the other thing I should say that I noticed on the new OLED sets is motion blur or lack thereof. Most of last year's sets were really good, and this appears to be even better. I didn't notice any trailing on fast-moving objects at all. And from there, I guess we can move on down to the bottom of the TV. And here's where you're going to find all the inputs and also the built-in speakers. As for inputs, you get 4 HDMI that are all HDCP 2.2 compliant and 3 USB. You also get a composite in as well as an RS-232 and Ethernet hookup. And you get an optical output as well if you want to hook this TV up to a better sound system. And speaking of the sound, this is decent considering most of the speakers that come on TVs now are not good at all. This is Dolby Atmos compatible, which is a cool feature. I'm just not convinced that this is a powerful enough system to really be effective. When we had the volume turned up, it sounded kind of hollow. There wasn't a ton of bass and the mids and highs were just okay. I would say you're still better off hooking this up to a higher end soundbar or a surround system. Now, if you're watching videos that are Atmos compliant, it sounds really cool on a great system, but it just wasn't the same experience on the built-in speakers for this TV. But still, it's better than what comes with most of the new TVs out there. So now let's talk about the smart features. This uses the new WebOS 3.5, which is faster and gives access to some new remote control features too. This TV flies through menus and applications. I thought WebOS 3.0 was pretty quick. 3.5 definitely feels faster in both booting up and when you're using your apps. The other cool thing about their new OS is the remote functionality. It allows you to assign hotkeys to the Magic Remote, so if you hold down a button for a few seconds, it'll quickly access an app of your designation. It's great for people who have several that they like to use on their TVs. And while we're on the topic of remotes, this TV actually comes with two. You get the Magic Remote that I just talked about, as well as a slim remote with some more kind of stripped down basic features. It's just a lot smaller in size, so it's easier, I guess, to handle. So overall, this is a really nice upgrade from LG. I was slightly disappointed with the vertical lines and some of the stuff as I was watching, but if you're not looking specifically for it, you probably won't notice it. And like I said, it is kind of a common thing that you see on OLEDs. Now, the colors were incredible right out of the box, and up conversion was really good too. Also, for anyone looking for a TV that they don't have to hook up to an external sound system, this would be a model that you could consider for sure. So what do you guys all think? Have you had a chance to see this one in person yet? Are there any others you'd take over this one? Make sure to let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because now that we have a couple of brands making OLEDs, we're going to be able to do some side-by-side videos as well. Thanks for watching.